Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I've got RS update or progress video number 20 for you then. So I promised this video for a while. I'm trying to do one each month at the moment, and just to showcase all the stuff that I've been doing on the account in the last month. So this video is going to consist of a lot of Slayer. I'm going to be doing a sort of just showing you what tasks I get and also the loot I get from each task, and then I'll just compare that at the end of the video and then see if Slayer at my level really is worth it. So yeah, just killing some aberrant spectres here. Should be done with them soon, just got 6 to go on that. Also in this video going to be showing you my bank, as it is progress video number 20, so we can see how far we've come from that first video. Yeah, let's not really talk much about that, but yeah, let's go. Okay, so that's the end of the aberrant spectres task then. So yeah, pretty simple task, good drops as well from those. So yeah, plenty of herbs and also some alcohols. And just showing you the loot I got from that. Then yeah, pretty good I have to say. Like I said, plenty of herbs and yeah, 387k from that. I think it was about 160. So definitely satisfied with that. And get another task, and we got gargoyles in this task. So gargoyles I've done a bit in the past, and not too much of them, but as far as I'm aware, you get a pretty good loot from them. So yeah, that task was a good one. None of this recording is live, as you probably worked out, because yeah, I wasn't able to record it live, or didn't really know what to say. But a couple of hard clues we got from those gargoyles. Pretty average, 100k. And then we finished that task, and that was our 140th task. 60 points and 419 Slayer points, so yeah, good to build up some of them. And then the loot from that task, just another hard clue scroll here, and another very average one, so 3 very average hard clues there. And the loot in total, I think they must have buffed the drop table, because I don't ever remember the gargoyles drop table being this good. And there you go, 720k, and if you include our 3 clue scrolls, then you're looking at about 100k, which is 100k, no, 1 mil, which is very good for, I think I only got about 150, but yeah. Got ourselves another task, and we've got fire giants this task, so it's quite a dull task I think, but it's excellent for XP, because fire giants, so you can kill them with range, kill them with melee. They're pretty weak, and you can get the task done quite quickly. And yeah, so I finished that task. I was killing these ones with ranged, as I'm trying to build up my range level in order to make sure I can complete Dragon Slayer 2. And looking at our loot from that then, so I didn't pick up everything, I just picked up the things that are worthwhile, and it's not too bad. I mean, I got good luck. I mean, got another rune to and a sword, 2 rune skimmies, and then those 5 battle stars add up quite a bit, so can't complain too much there, about 130k. Considering it's the drop table of fire giants isn't that great, and they don't drop hard clues either. So yeah, definitely take that. Next task we got was cave horrors. Not done too much of these in the past, but I have got 2 black masks so far from them. And you will see in the following clip that I got lucky again, so I think that's 3 black masks, and I've only killed about 500 or 600 cave horrors, so certainly getting good luck on those. And that was a voice crack there, I think. Couldn't go a video without making one, could you, Sam? Hey? But yeah, it was good to get that black mask. And also here's me getting 84 ranged. So yeah, I've been using the blowpipe. It's how I did the fire cape. The blowpipe, I just bought it, and then it took me a couple of tries, but I got there in the end. And yeah, another voice crack. And yes, 142 tasks done there. Again, no hard clues, which is slightly disappointing, but the loot nonetheless not too bad. Yeah, 12 limpwork roots, and then 2 snapdragon seeds as well. And then obviously got that 833k. That's a huge amount. I mean, I'm not too sure why. I mean, they obviously got the Slayer Helm perk, but yes, 840k is very generous. Wyverns was our next task, not the Fossil Island ones. We did get a couple of them a bit later on. And yeah, it's just me finishing that task, and not too complicated. I sort of used to fear Wyverns quite a lot. I think I remember back in RS3, you used to walk past this cave and you'd think, what are they? But no. And yes, just getting another task, Dust Devils. And just to show you that Wyvern's loot before. I only killed 9, so what I get is pretty good, but it's what you get generally for Wyverns. I'm tempted to do a loot from 1,000 of them, but that would take me a long time. But it certainly would make me a decent amount of money, probably get me enough to get a few prayer levels, or 2 prayer levels probably anyway, knowing the cost of that nowadays. Next up, finished that Dust Devils task, so I killed 1,000 of these a couple of months ago, and the loot from these is second to none pretty much. You can kill them really quickly, and you see here the loot I get is extremely good. So you've got battle staves, runes, loads of coins as well. I've got the Ring of Wealth, which picks up the coins for you. And so you've got like dragon daggers, vambraces, and then of course there's always a chance of getting that dragon chain body. 1 in 32k, but still a chance. So yeah, 450k from that task was pretty amazing for, especially, and didn't take too long either. Got a new task, Hellhounds. Usually a good one, as pretty easy to kill, good Slayer XP, and get a lot of hard clues. But unfortunately, we didn't get any hard clues in all of those, which was disappointing. But yeah, it is what it is. Getting another task, Spiritual Creatures. Not a task I'm particularly fond of, but it's pretty decent XP and decent drops as well, so I couldn't really say no to that. And a hard clue scroll that I got from those, and pretty just below average, I say. Usually I call about 100k-ish about an average clue. And yeah, finished that one. 146 tasks now, nearly at 500 points, and also got ourselves a hard clue scroll, which when I eventually finished, I got a peaceful blessing, and so yeah, about 100k, not too bad in that respect. Got a new task, a Fossil Island Wyvern, so I panicked a bit at first. I thought, have I unlocked them yet? But looks like I have, and when I killed them, they proved very simple to kill. And there you see I got a hard clue scroll on the last kill, which was perfect. And the drops weren't amazing, but I guess they would be anywhere near as good as the normal Wyverns. But I think there's more than one type of Wyvern in this cave, so possibly get better. And just while doing this clue, stumbling across, I had to go to Letia for or however you pronounce it, for a clue, and I got 81 farming, so good to get that. And opening that hard clue, an excellent one, this one, another Armadale page one, I think that's the 4th one I've got, and that Dark Cavalier. So that concludes the Slayer part of the video, then just getting some Fire Giants, and that's where we'll kick off probably progress video number 21 with that Fire Giants task. And in the next couple of clips I stumbled across a couple of clues in my bank that I should have done, and here's an easy clue, so 2.6k, yeah, and a medium clue, yeah, average again. And also an elite clue in my bank, I'm not sure why, but yeah, so open that one up, and 333k, and I didn't think it looked like much, but those Onyx Bolt tips and Magic Seed, yeah, so that's probably the best elite I've got so far. And yes, just moving on to a bit of skilling now. I just did some general cooking. I was doing a monkfish. I mean, I had about 12,000 in the bank just from fishing, so I thought that it was worth to cook them. And I think if you cook them in this place with the cooking gauntlets, you can't burn any, which means obviously I can get maximum XP. And yes, it doesn't cost me anything in terms of that. But yeah, skilling a 99 cooking, I think, is probably a realistic target. I mean, that doesn't take long at all, because I think the sad thing about cooking is you can buy it all, because I think monkfish actually, you can turn over profit if you, I mean, in terms of the monkfish cooked are worth more than they are raw, so if you don't burn too many, you can make a comfortable profit. Same with sharks. But yeah, it's possibly the one annoying, sad act of cooking, but then it's an easy skill, so I guess it's not really much of a valued skill, Kate. And yeah, here's 82 cooking. So in this video, just looking to get us up to about 84 cooking, about 4,000-ish monkfish. Here's 83. It doesn't take too long either. I think you can do, I think it's about 200k experience an hour, so you can rapidly gain levels pretty much at any level in cooking, unless you of course get to the 90s. But yeah, it's always been an easy skill. And yeah, there's 84. Okay, so moving on to the bank part of the video, then here's just all the rune items I've got in my bank from Slayer and clues, so I'm just going to sell them and see what we get. and we got 4.5 mil from all those rune items. So I think you'd be surprised sort of how much those items are worth, because you get them in Slayer and they don't seem like too much, but then they stack up, and eventually, even if you out them, it's probably still worth about 4 mil. But yeah, it's good that was. And here's where I sold some extra pages that I've got. I've got 5 out of the 6 books. I'm missing 1 page in the ancient book. I think it's like an ancient page 2. So hopefully I'll get that in the future. But yeah, I sold my pages and I got about a mil for them. So that was pretty good. And just selling some clue duplicates there as well. 2.6 mil I think I got in total from the pages and clue duplicates. So that was good, because I've got a lot of the clue items in the chest in the house. But yeah, I think I needed to just clear some space as well. And yeah, 40 mil I managed to get my cash stack up to, just clearing out my bank and selling some junk. So yeah, you'd be surprised what you can do. Okay, so now I'm going to pretty much give you a tour of my bank then, if that sounds right. And yes, you look at it and you think it's a bloody mess. Well, if you said that, you certainly wouldn't be wrong. So this, I mean, all this stuff here is just pretty much random things I've picked up over the time I've played the game, so not too much importance. A lot of stuff, because I mean I'm trying to get rid of so much stuff in my bank, and I'm just thinking, you know, will I need it in the future? But yeah, I mean there's not really much to see here. Just some random clue items. I've been selling a few of my rune items, and then D-meds from Barrows, Mithril bolts. Don't know what they're doing in there, and then pretty much just things I've picked up over the time I've played RuneScape. And I probably don't need 50% of this stuff, but I'm almost sort of too scared to get rid of it. But yeah, not too much to see. And yes, yeah, just logs I've accumulated from woodcutting and the beaver pet. I kind of pretty much forgot I had that pet, because at the time I didn't actually realise I'd got it, because I just started woodcutting and then went straight AFK. Yeah, 24 Raynar seeds. I'm holding them back if I start to do a bit more farming in the future. And yeah, again, not just a couple of Slayer drops here and there, like this shard, 2 black masks. Yeah, I really do need to clean my bank. It's pretty much the message you're going to get. And then yeah, the cannon, then a bit of stuff from Dragon Slayer 2 here. I am in progress in that quest at the moment. Hopefully I'll complete it sometime in the future, but I don't think my stats are strong enough at the moment to beat the final boss, which looks pretty daunting for somebody who certainly cannot call themselves a PVMer. And yeah, just, I mean, this stuff down is just things I use pretty much all the time, so I just sort of keep them there, and then it's easy to just get them out and then put them back in again. And yeah, I've got a master clue in the bank, which I don't think I can do it yet, but hopefully in the future I will be able to do that. Okay, first tab then, this is my fishing tab then. So actually, the reason this is my first tab is kind of in honour of my account on RS3. I mean, fishing was my favourite skill, I think, back in the day, and I got 99 fishing on my RS3 account, and I loved it. I mean, I don't love it now, but I loved it then. So yeah, to 2k sharks, I'll just price check some of this stuff. Put placeholders on and withdraw all. And yeah, just see how much all this stuff's worth. It's probably not worth too much. I mean, yeah, just over 4 mil. I mean, look at the price of those sharks. That's ridiculous. I remember when they were selling for about 1k. But things like Zora and bosses, I mean, 584, that's ridiculous. I mean, monkfish are 331. They're not too far away from sharks, and the speed of fish and monkfish is far superior to that of sharks. I mean, at any level. I'm very surprised at how much that rate has dropped. This tab then, my mining tab, probably my most impressive tab of all, and probably worth quite a bit, I imagine. The reason I'm keeping all these ores and not selling them is I'm going to use them for smithing, so hopefully I've got enough here maybe to get me to 85, I think, but if I do the gold, you can see there 15k gold bars. That's from, yeah, that's all the ores that I've smelt, and I think I might create them into gold amulets and maybe alch them, but I'm not too sure about that at the moment. And use the gauntlets to get as much smithing XP as possible. So, how much is this stuff worth? Yeah, nearly 50 mil, so very impressive. I mean, 23, half of that really coming from rune ores. I mean, rune ores ridiculous money. Voice crack, because the price of rune ore is always going to be stable. It's not going to change anytime in the near future because of alch value, so rune ore is always a good way of making money. Adamant as well, gone up a little bit to 1.2k. Mithril dropped quite a bit, 166 is very low, I think. Gold's gone up quite a bit, 326. You can get it as cheap as 200 a while ago. Coal hasn't changed too much. Silver doesn't mean anything. Iron's gone up, to be fair. Didn't used to be worth as much. And then bars, addy bars 2k, mithril bars 725, gold bars only 80. That's ridiculously cheap. Steel bars 416. That's quite good. And then my gems here. Sapphires 591. I mean, how a sapphire is worth more than emeralds, I don't really know. Yeah, I mean, a decent amount of money there. Runes tab, so some of the stuff's been accumulated from barrows, especially the mind runes, the chaos runes, blood runes and death runes, but others is just from drops. And yeah, I'm not really too bothered about this tab. I'll use all this stuff pretty much in the end, but yeah, not too much to see here. This is a junk tab, well, not really a junk tab I wouldn't say, but I don't know what the barrow stuff's doing in here. Darrick's plate, really, that's the one I got, but I've used it, so I need to, oh, that's the car outside. Yeah, I need to repair that, the axe as well. And Carol's Coif is one of the items I got. I've got the whole Carol set, which is quite impressive, I think. And that Gutham's plate body as well. This tab is my clean herbs tab, and sort of just, yeah, herb lore tab pretty much. So not too much to see here, although 506 Reynards, we'll just price check those. And yeah, more my fungus and limpwork roots, etc. Herb lore is something I think I probably do need to do a bit more of, but I just can't really be bothered to get round to it. But yeah, about 4.4 mil from those Reynards. Alright, this is my clue tab then, so you can see here I've got all 6 books, although this one is still only one more page to complete. And all these pages up here are spare ones. I'm just keeping them just in case I might need them in the future. I've tried to organise this tab to an extent, as you can see, but it's still a bit all over the place. But yeah, clues is always something I've enjoyed in the game, and it's what I will be continuing to do for as long as the game exists. I think maybe I set a goal, I think, a long time ago to try and get every clue item at least once, and I'm not really that close to doing that, but I've got a lot of items so far, and a lot of different ones, so yeah, that's good. I need to see more pages down here. I think I've got about 6 Armadale page 1s in my RuneScape career, but I still need 1 ancient page, and yeah. Cash deck 40 mil. I've just been clearing out some junk and managed to get up to 40 mil. I mean, that's pretty insane. I think that's probably one thing I would advise to anyone whose bank is looking a bit like mine. Just find stuff that you're not going to use in the future, or you don't need now, and just sell it. Just get it out there, convert it to GP, and then just dragon kills from Slayer tasks and dragon bones, which I'm holding back to use on the gilded altar. And then a few potions. I'll be using all of these, so these aren't worth anything. So super strength, super attacks, attack potions, etc. This is my grimy herbs tab, but most of these herbs have come from either drops, like loot from 1k videos, or just herb boxes from Nightmare Zone. Herb boxes are very, very overpowered, I think. Although you do only get 15 a day, they're extremely useful. Yeah, 18.6 mil from herbs. I mean, most of that coming from Reynards again. Reynards are ridiculous, really. Doing 10 mil from Reynards. And I think you get 1 or 2 every herb box, so that's sort of 15 to 20 Reynards a day. And finally, then, this is sort of my dailies tab. So I go to when I'm doing farm runs or doing clues, I just go to this tab: spade, staff, Drayman staff, dueling ring, games like this, etc., etc. And then I got my farming things here, and they're just pretty much. This is just it's a bit like the bottom of my first tab. It's just the things I'll need on a day-to-day basis during the game. So as for the value of my bank, then, I mean, you've got the 40 mil, and then you've got a decent amount, about 50 mil here. It's over 100 mil, but I really don't own that much stuff, or expensive stuff like expensive gear. So that money would soon go if I spent it. And I mean, am I going to spend it? I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm not much of a PVM. I think I want to get my skilling up before my PVM. But although I would like to learn how to do more bosses, because I just feel like I'm a bit limited in terms of that. But yeah, that's pretty much my bank at the moment. So yes, progressed a fair bit, I think, since the last time I did a bank video. But let's just say I need to organise it.